Hello. All right, y'all. I got about 30 minutes until I need to be back in the office. And I'm going to sit here and enjoy this ice cream and have a quick chat. Because y'all, we need something out here. Say, what's good? This ice cream, that's what's good. But we need to have a chat. Like we are, it's bad out here. It's something going on out here. I don't know what's going on. But y'all, we need some elder wisdom, like for real. For real, for real. And I don't know when the more mature, older, wiser person stop giving game to the younger people. I don't know when that happened. But honestly, I think it's why we're in the predicament that we're in. You have people my age that are not talking to younger people. They're not putting them on game. They're not speaking into their lives. They're not giving them wisdom. You got young people out here and they have YouTube channels. They have platforms. Like they're doing what they do. I'm not mad at that. But the truth is, they know what they know in their limited amount of living. Like they know what they know. And the rest of it is conjecture. The rest of it is theory, right? They're guessing. They're guessing about a lot of stuff because they haven't lived 50, 60 years. They don't really know. And that's what's got me feeling away. Like I'm feeling away because I'm like, you don't know. You don't know what the stuff you're doing now. You don't know what the consequence is going to be in 20 years or 30 years, right? So when I'm talking to a 22-year-old girl, I know, like, y'all, I be telling her, I'm like, keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. I know where you're going to be when you're my age. Keep doing what you're doing. Okay? I'm not guessing. I'm saying if you stay on this path, this is what's going to happen. Okay? And we need to do better. Like, I've been calling out people that are my age. Like, what is your problem? Why aren't you, if you're 50 and above, you need a YouTube channel, right? You need to be out here with an Instagram platform. You need to be out here with a Facebook page because you need to tell younger people what's really up. You need to tell younger people what's up. And hopefully save an entire generation. But I'm not gonna lie, it's got me feeling away. It's got me feeling away. It's just crazy. And then people are writing to me, DMing me, emailing me. Like, I said, well, where's your mother? Where's your father? Where's your aunts? Where's your uncles? Where's your grandparents? And they're like, well, they didn't talk about this. They didn't tell me about any of this. I have to learn this now that I'm grown. They didn't tell me any of this when I was younger. And they have crippled young people. And so if I can be honest, if I can be accountable, like it's my generation that's messing up. It's my generation that's not doing right by y'all. And I'm going to talk about it. It's the reason why I have the platform I have. Because I honestly believe we have failed. Like my generation, maybe the generation before me, we have failed. And I'm beyond disgusted. Like I'm beyond disgusted. Some of the stuff that people send me in my inbox, I'm thinking to myself, what? Like, come on. Your daddy ain't tell you this. Your mother ain't tell you this. No. It's crazy. Okay. Just because you 50 don't mean you know something. Young fools become old fools. Some of them do. I agree with that. But here's the thing I want to tell you about the 50-year-old. Even if that 50-year-old is a stone cold fool, he still or she still has something to teach you that a 30-year-old can't. Right? Because this is the truth. That 50-year-old, maybe their life is a mess. Maybe their life is a mess, right? They suffering all kind of consequences from all the stuff they didn't do or all the stuff they did do that they shouldn't have done. And to me, that 50-year-old, you know what you can learn from that 50-year-old? What not to do. You can look at them at 50 and say to yourself, you know what? I don't want to be that at 50. I don't want to turn out like that. That's the greatest lesson a 50-year-old who got their life all jacked up can teach you. But it's beyond sad. And like I said, I have more and more clients. I'm going to look at y'all's comments. Good afternoon as I'm talking. Because y'all know when I be in my feelings, whoo. She said, what's the topic? So we need more elder wisdom. We need more mature people who got their life together. That would be ideal. Got their life together or made mistakes and rebounded appropriately. Right? I consider myself in the second group. I'm in the first group too. I got my life together. But if I can be honest, I'm also in the second group. Okay? I made some mistakes and I rebounded appropriately. Okay? And we need those people, men and women, to start speaking up. We need those people to say, man, let me tell you, I'm glad I did this when I was 20 something, or I'm glad I stopped doing that, or, yeah, I did this and this is how it turned out, good or bad, right? Like you need to keep it real. Keep it real with these younger people. And then if you got your life together, like tell people how that happened. Right? I love sharing my story of how I got myself together. I met my husband at 30. I married at 31 and had my daughter very soon after. And while I wouldn't consider that old, I wouldn't consider that young either. So there was a part of me that felt like, man, I wish I had married at like 25. And I wish I had started having kids at like 28. But, I considered it kind of middle of the road in that I wasn't young and dumb and stupid, but I also wasn't 39, 40, so I considered it kind of middle of the road. Some people consider me an older mom, but most people consider me like, oh no, you're not an older mom. No, not even close. Your kids are all grown and, you still look great. But I have been talking to women, especially recently, about the importance of prioritizing marriage and family when you're younger, if that's something you want to do. I've been talking to women about that because I'm like, yeah, I can see how that, that might have been helpful. Had I, instead of using my 20s, and it wasn't all of my 20s, because I spent the last 4 years of my 20s preparing to be a wife. And so at 30, met my husband and became a wife. But it's a lot of y'all out here that's not doing that. Like, you're not even preparing. You're not even preparing. I said to a client yesterday, she's like, what is that? What does that mean? Give me some things I should be doing to prepare, because she wants to get married. I'm like, yeah, you need to prepare to be a wife. You need to prepare to be married. And right now, you're not doing anything that's preparing you for that. And can I be frank? Most of the time when we attempt to do something, especially something we've never done, and we're not prepared, we're not going to have good results. Like we gonna screw that up. So prepare to be a wife. And men need to prepare to be husbands. So they're not excluded in this. My platform isn't for men. Every now and again, I will talk to men, but they're not excluded. I think we need to have older men. And I just interviewed one on my podcast. His name is Okoye Amos. If you head over to YouTube and you check out the latest episode of the podcast called The Power of Female Leverage, and then check out his channel. This is a man my age giving women the game. This is what your daddy should have gave you. This is what your grandfather and your uncle should have gave you. This is what my daddy gave me. Like, my daddy gave me this game. My uncle gave me this game. My grandfather gave me this game. But see, young women today, y'all don't have that. Y'all don't have any game from any men in your life. You don't have any femininity, wife skill training from your mother or your grandmother or your auntie. Like, y'all just out here. You're just out here bumping around trying to figure it out. And my heart goes out to you. Because like I said earlier, I feel like my generation has failed people in their 20s and their early 30s. We failed you all. We should have passed on something, some knowledge, some game, some don't do this. Don't do this. I did this. This is how it turned out. This is why my life is screwed up. Don't do this. Like, we have failed you all. And that's the reason why I do exactly what I do. Because I'm like, no, someone has to say it. And dare I say it, a lot of the things that I say, my opinion isn't popular. And yet I am going to say it because I feel like somebody has to say it. Somebody has to tell y'all. Someone has to speak the truth. And I know, like I said, it isn't popular when I talk about marrying early, when I talk about abstaining from having sex until you're married or until you're committed and exclusive. Resist hookup culture. I know it's not popular, but somebody's got to do it because you about to go clear off into a ditch. You about to, get yourself hemmed up. You about to get yourself in a situation where you're not good to nobody, including you. You can't marry and be a good wife. You can't have no good husband. You can't be a good mother to your children because you just been out here in the streets, sleeping around, getting knocked up. Maybe you have an abortion. Maybe you miscarry. Whatever happens. It's just a whole mess. It's a whole mess out here, y'all. It's a whole mess. I just thank God. I'm not going to lie. I thank God every day. I made mistakes. I wrote about it in my first book. I made mistakes. And thank God I didn't keep making those mistakes. That's what's like blowing my mind. Is there are people out here making egregious mistakes over and over and over again. I made some serious mistakes once. One time. I said, nope, not doing that again. Like, I feel that way about marriage. I was like, nope, I am not getting another divorce. I did that one time and I'm not going down that road again. That's why people ask me all the time, why haven't you remarried? There are men that ask me that. You would make a great wife. Why haven't you remarried? Because I'm not getting another divorce. I need to choose better. I need to make sure I'm committed and he's committed. We're a good fit for each other. It's not just about chemistry. It's not about the sexy. I gotta like you. Like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to take my time this time. And I'm going to make sure that person is committed. I'm committed. We're both focused on God. And okay, we both in the same book, in the same chapter, on the same page. And unless it's that, I will not do it. Because I will not go through another divorce. I will not. Okay, I'll bury a husband, but I'm not going through no another divorce. There are big mistakes I've made in life, but I'm only going to make them one time. But my generation has failed you all. We have. Like, I own it. I own it. If they won't, I will. They have not kicked enough game. They have not talked to you about the unpopular, unsexy stuff that they need to talk with you about. That's it. Like, it's not sexy. It's not popular. Do the hard thing. The way your brain is designed is to do the easy thing. Is to do the thing that feels good now. But let me be honest. That's not going to get you the life that you want. Keep doing the easy thing. Keep doing what feels right today. Trust me, you're going to wake up my age and be like, wow, yeah, I'm all messed up. I don't have half of what I want. I don't have half of, that's what you're going to be with. Life requires that some things be hard, period. There's just no getting around that. We need to stop with that. And yes, when I asked you to abstain, stop sleeping with men because, ooh, they give me a feeling on the first date. So what? I am asking you to abstain. You don't know him. He's a stranger. And it's women out here sleeping with men on the first date, in the first week, the first month. And then come to find out the man is crazy. The man's been to jail. He's murdered somebody. He's a pedophile. I mean, just craziness. All kind of craziness. Well, now I love him. Now I want to be with him. And at that point, because all the chemicals have been released in your body and you've bonded with the man, you can't use this. You can't use common sense to come to terms with, no, you're done. Game over. Stop trying to continue a relationship with somebody that is not a good fit. But see, this is turned off. Once down here get activated, this is turned off. So, no, somebody got to say it. You know, I know it's unpopular, but I'm going to say it. Okay? Use this. Stop thinking with this. Stop thinking with this all the time. Use your rational mind. Stop sleeping with men you don't know. Men that are strangers. Men that, and here's my hard and fast rule, y'all. I'm headed back to my office. So once I was married, had a family, and I got divorced, I made a commitment. I kid y'all not. I made a commitment that I would never, now I don't have sex now at all, unless I'm married, right? But after I got divorced, I was still like, I was still backsliding a little. And so I've always required my whole life. I've required a man to be my man, to be in a relationship, to be exclusive and committed and in a relationship for us to have sex. That's always been my requirement from day one. I do not have casual sex. I do not sleep with men I don't know. That's always been my requirement because can I be honest? I have a weird thing about bodily fluid. I just do. I have a weird bodily fluid thing. And I feel like if I'm going to exchange bodily fluids with you, I need to know everything I need to know about you. So a part of it is my squeamish nature. Okay. I just think it's gross. I think it's gross to exchange bodily fluid with a man I don't know. Okay. So I'm not going to come off as being all pious and, holier than thou. It's not about that. It's because I'm grossed out. I'm grossed out having sex with a man I don't know. Okay. So let's just clear that up. Okay. But I remember when I got divorced, I took 5 years to do the healing work for my divorce. And I made a commitment. I said, I am not going to have sex with a man. I remember saying this. I said, I'm not going to have sex with a man that would not make a good father and would not make a good husband. Period. It was like and there wasn't many. It was 2 that I was like, if I don't see this man as my husband or I don't see this man as the father of my children, I'm not sleeping with him. Point blank, period. That was my standard. And it didn't mean the man was perfect. It didn't mean the man didn't have shortcomings or flaws or whatever. But I was like, nope, because the opportunity for us to procreate together is always there when you're having sex with someone. You know, even if you're on birth control, accidents happen. Accidents happen. I've had a couple of clients in the last 2 weeks that have gotten pregnant on accident. And so to that I say, okay, if this guy is not a good guy, if he's a jerk, if y'all are having all these problems, again, you should have always said in your rational mind, if I get pregnant by this man will be the father of my child. And if you didn't like that, if you didn't want that, if you didn't like the way that sound, you didn't have no business sleeping with him. Because that's always been my standard. If I lay down with you, it's because you'll make a good husband and you'll make a good father. Period. And the two men that I was with in a relationship with since I've been divorced, they both have been married. They both are fathers. So clearly it's something to this. And I'm talking, they are taking care of their children financially and otherwise, and they have been married. So unless you'll make a good father, unless you'll make a good husband, nope. Nope, because the opportunity will always be there for procreation to happen. And see, when you out here just sleeping with anybody and you just saying, well, you know, this is fun, this is for today, you know, no, I know he wouldn't make a good father, he wouldn't make a good husband, but, you know, I'm on birth control, what does it matter? And then, oops, you having a baby by this guy. This guy don't have a job. I'm just, help me to understand. Now, this is my auntie wisdom right here. Help me to understand why you are sleeping with a man that has no job. Like, that's got to be in the Bible somewhere. That's like basic feminine law 101. Do not sleep with a man that does not have a job, that has no form of income whatsoever. Why? Why would you feel like he deserves your body? He deserves your sex. He can't pay his cell phone bill, but he should have some coochie. He can't pay for rent someplace. He's living with his grandmother, but he should have some coochie. Like, help me to understand that. But we have failed. We have failed this younger generation. Like, that was like femininity 101. Like, even my daddy taught me that. He's like, Anita, as long as you got what you sitting on, as long as you alive, you know, you should never have no problem paying no bills or getting a man to do things for you. Or, I mean, he used to always say this. As long as you got what you sitting on, you gonna be fine. You never gonna be broke. I mean, this is basic. But you got young girls out here sleeping with these boys, these males that can't even take care of themselves. And then if they accidentally get pregnant, bam, that's the baby daddy. That's the father of the child. I mean, it's insane. I cannot make this up. I cannot make this up. And I'm just thinking, this is like the basics. This dude isn't about anything. And you having sex with him. So help me to understand it, y'all. But like I said, I take responsibility. We have failed. We have failed, y'all. My generation has failed, y'all. Because there were some basic, common sense things we should have gave, and we didn't. And we didn't. And I don't know why. I don't know if we was just selfish, if we was just all about us and whatever we was doing. I don't know what we was doing. But we failed you all. We have not given game that to me is just like basic game. Your mother, your grandmother, your auntie, this is basic stuff that everybody should know. Every woman should know this. And you must require, that there are things you should require as a woman in order for a man to have physical access to you. Like, to me, that's stuff that my daddy taught me, my mama taught me. I mean, I did, my aunts, my uncles, my brother, like all these people were like, no, he ain't got this, that, or the third. No, Anita. They were like, nah. You can't be bothered. Well, I love him. I don't care about that. You know, it was like, don't, love ain't enough. Love ain't gonna pay no bills. Like, I've been hearing this forever. And finally, it sinked in. I was like, yeah, I can't be with no broke dude. I can't be with no guy that don't have nothing. Like, and that's never been my story. There were probably men I should have married from college that they came from good families and they were going into these jobs with their family business. Like, they had good families. Their families had money and all of that. And I probably should have married younger and married like in college or graduate school, but I digress. But yeah, it's some basic tenets that women are just like, man, really? I have a 35-year-old client. I kid y'all not. 35 years old. She meets this guy on a dating app earlier. No, it was last fall in August. She meets a guy on a dating app in August. They've been dating, what has it been, 6 months, 7 months? And they are in a quote unquote situationship. I said, what does that mean? Well, there's no title. And, we haven't met each other's friends or family or anything. Okay, what does that mean? Well, we just hang out, hook up, go over to each other's houses. We went on a trip once. So you basically have sex. Let's call it what it is. You have a person that you have semi-regular sex with. Is it good? Like, is the sex good? Okay, y'all, I think I'm back. I'm sorry. I think my Wi-Fi from the building connected to my phone. I apologize. But this woman has never been in a relationship. Never been in a relationship, and she's 35 years old. That is so sad to me. That is just so sad to me. I just can't even imagine. At 35 years old, I was married and I had 3 children. I'm just like, wow. And just think, and her 35 is, I've never even been in a relationship. I've had sex. I've had random sex with random men, but I have never had a boyfriend. I've never had a man claim me. I've never had a man title me. Wow, that's mind-blowing. Like, I was in a relationship when I was 18. 18 years old in high school, senior year. I was in a relationship with the captain of the football team. I was a cheerleader and a track star. And he was like, Anita's my woman. Anita's my girlfriend. I'm going to marry Anita one day. At 18 years old. And there are 35-year-old women out here who have never experienced that. That's heartbreaking. That's heartbreaking to me. And so they don't even know how to be a girlfriend, much less a wife. So we got to do better. I got to do better. I got to do better. She said, I know that's right. Broke men don't deserve no sex. No, they don't. No, they don't. And that's like femininity 101. I need to do the femininity Bible, the femininity laws. Because but I got to do better. It's the reason why I'm doing everything that I'm doing. When I hear these stories of grown women that have never been in relationships, never been in love, I can't tell you how many people, men and women, in the last 2 months that I have worked with. And I said, have you ever been in love? What's love? What's love to you? And they've never been in love. That is so sad to me. I got a question and I'm going to run into the... Okay. She says, what do you think that is? I can't bring it up because I got to get ready to run out. But it's just sad. It's sad. And people my age and older, we got to do better. We got to do better. I hold us accountable. We have let you all down. We should have been running this game with you from day one. I do it with my kids. I tell my son and both my daughters what time it is, and they think I'm half past crazy. Like, can I be real? My children think I'm half past crazy. Like, some of the things that I say, some of the things that I tell them, they're like, dang, Mom, you tripping. You crazy. Where you get this from? What? I mean, I'm like, you will never be able to say I didn't tell you. That's all I need. You don't have to do what I tell you, but you'll never be able to say I didn't tell you. And in the last 3 months, that's all I've been getting is messages, emails, people writing to me. I never heard this. I never knew this. My mother never said this. My father never told me this. My uncle never, my auntie never. Nope. My kids will never be able to say that. I told you. I told you. I gave you choices. I gave you knowledge. And you could choose to do it or not. But you're not going to say I didn't tell you. That's what's not going to happen. So y'all, I'm going to do better. I'm going to start going harder. I'm going to start answering questions and giving more content about just basic life stuff. Just basic ways of living as a woman. And making sure that you have self-love, that you have self-respect, that you have standards, that you have boundaries, you have requirements. And you let people, you let men especially, you let them know what those standards are. And you do so unapologetically. That you put yourself first. You make sure you meet your needs. And before you get into relationship with others, you make sure they can meet your needs before you're going to meet their needs. I am very passionate about codependency. Everybody knows that. I'm going to have a codependency class next month where for 4 weeks, we're going to have a live training over on YouTube all about healing codependency. We have to do this work. We have to do the self-esteem work and the self-respect and knowing our worth as women. And you got to do it young. So you're not out here getting run up on. You're not out here with these men like pulling the wool over your eyes. I mean, the things that they're telling women that women are believing. It's just like, are you for real? Like, is this happening? Oh, Lord. I'm going to do better. I'm going to do better. I'm going to let you know this. I will be over on YouTube more. That's where the live training will be. I will start announcing here on Instagram, but all of the training and the videos will be over on YouTube. There's always more content over on YouTube. So please check me out on YouTube. Please go over there and subscribe to the channel. Please start checking out all of the videos that is there. The podcast is over there. My other random videos are over there. All of my femininity series, The Feminine Way, is over there. Everything is over on YouTube. I am going to slowly start shifting over on to YouTube as my #1 platform. So if you want this free training, you want this free game, meet me over on YouTube. Please get a copy of Do Well, A Feminine Woman's Guide to Relationship Success. It's out on Amazon right now. Thank you so much for listening today. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. And as always, stay open to love.